Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are still on my kitchen floor, and honestly I'm not mad at it. Hopefully you're not either. Anyways, before we get in the video, let's get into the giveaway. So congratulations to the first face mask giveaway winner. As you guys know, I purchased a bunch of face masks when I was in Korea, and I'm giving away a sachet every video that I remember to give it away in. But yes, congratulations to the first winner, and if you would like to win one of these amazing sachets of face masks so you can get your beauty thing on, all you have to do is like this video, share this video, and comment down below, and you'll automatically be entered. But yeah, today I just finished school. I don't have too much going on right now. I just finished a quiz. I feel like I'm really up to date with things. Every time I'm done a class, I just go and I study right away, and I take my quizzes right away, and I try to get them done right away. So I'm free to do a mukbang right now, and I figured, you know, since I've been passing by this Taco Bell and this, I don't know why I'm laughing. I always just laugh randomly. I think it's because I'm just like laughing at myself mainly because I sound ridiculous right now. I know you guys have been wondering why I sound differently and why I like suddenly have a lisp. It's because I've been doing some work at the dentist for my job because it's been as you guys know, I have that cracking issue. And throughout this process, I have suddenly developed a fucking lisp. So I don't know, I'm just rolling with life at this point. I'm not gonna complain. It is what it is at this point. But yeah, I saw at this KFC and this Taco Bell, they have these chicken nachos. They're called Nachos. I'm not sure if you guys have them anywhere else. I think they're just a Canadian thing. Here it is, Taco Bell and KFC. Yeah, I'm gonna set this up and then we're gonna get into the food. I also have a story time. I was walking home from school and someone punched me in the face. So that's gonna be fun to talk about. Let me set this up quickly and we'll get into it. Here is the frickin' spread. Before we get into my story, let's get into the food. I have some classic, I say classic because I've been eating this since I was a child, KFC fries, which they actually kind of are, classic fries, popcorn chicken, same with that. Oh my god, my favorite. We have here the nachos, which they're chicken tenders made into nachos. So self-explanatory. We have our tacos here, KFC sauce, supreme fries. I have some corn back here, some mashed potato, because I love mashed potato. We have a burrito over here, and yeah, that's it. Let's dig in. I'm really hungry. I think we should go in for one of these chicken tenders first. This looks really good. It has pickled jalapeno, cheese, sour cream, tomato. Not bad. The only thing with food like this is you need to eat it pretty fast because it expires so quickly. I'm going for some mashed potato with some gravy. I actually kind of want to go in for this burrito. Tastes like your typical Taco Bell, right, burrito. Now, I don't think this is a collaboration. It kind of seems like one because they're in the same vicinity. You know, tacos, chicken, chachos, you know, like nachos, you know. It just fits. It seems like it would be a collab. But apparently it's not. They should do that. No? KFC and Taco Bell. Ooh. Mmm. I'm sorry, I need to get napkins. I realized I needed a fork. I'm testing this fork out right now. I mean, woo, yeah. Oh, sorry. Mmm. Let's go in for one of these. Which one first? Which one first? I'm gonna go for this one. This is that, I don't know if it's new, but it's they have like the cheese in between it. In between the hard taco and the soft taco. I think it's a chipotle based sauce. Mm. Mm. I'll say the only thing I don't like about this one is that because of the sauce, the hard taco like starts melting. It's really weird. Okay. Let me eat a piece of this corn. Mmm. Yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon, I'll probably post a picture of what my eye looked like after. It didn't end up bruising, which is nice, but I got punched in the face. And I know you guys are probably like wondering first thing right away, was it a hater? It wasn't. So we can cross that out right now. It definitely wasn't a hater. Although if that did happen, I feel like the story time would be much more intense. Because someone actually physically did that. Not just talk about doing it, which is still just as bad. I mean, it'd be just so much worse, right? But yeah, I got punched in the face. It really took me by surprise. I've been punched in the face before. In high school, I've gotten into some fights. Purely self-defense, though. I was defending myself. That's the only reason why I've ever punched anyone in the face. I love this fork. Okay, so to give some context, I was walking home from school and my coordinator sent me an email. Oh, which shit. I responded to him, but I don't think he responded back to me. So I had a doctor's appointment the other day, and I couldn't meet up with him to talk about me dropping my classes because I had to go to my doctor's appointment. Anyways, so I was on my phone texting, and this is kind of bad, but when I'm texting, Arya hates this. It's one of his biggest pet peeves. I tend to zone out. It's definitely a habit that I need to break. It's not healthy by any means. So I've been trying to break it, but on this particular day, I was really zoned into my phone. And I feel like after all of this, there's really a lesson to be learned, but we'll talk about that later. I know someone punching me in the face and I've learned a lesson. And it wasn't even, it was just random too. It was just a completely random act. So I'm walking up the street, just texting my professor, and all of a sudden I feel something hit my face. I see black for a second, and then I look up and I see like this woman who's much larger than I am standing right in front of me. Defenses rose, and I right away became on guard, like, which bitch am I fighting right now? Like, who? My initial reaction, yes, I was defensive. I was kind of like, you know, like, am I gonna have to fight someone right now? But more so I was just wondering what the fuck just happened to me. And I quickly, for like a second, you know, when just like flash of thoughts happen, and it's crazy how fast these thoughts can happen, but I just, reflecting on it afterwards, thinking about it, I can't believe at that moment I thought that. So a quick, like, you know, a quick thought flashed in my brain, and the last time I remember being hit like that was with my ex. And when you're being, like, when someone hits you, it's so, and it's just randomly, like, you don't expect it. It's so weird because you almost don't know that you're being hit. You know, if you've ever had someone hit you randomly, then you know what I'm talking about. You don't know that you're being hit. It's just like, you see like stars, you're confused. It's just crazy. But after that happened, I realized that, like, no, that piece of shit definitely like smashed my head against the wall, and I blacked out. Like, I was confused. Like, you don't want to believe that person would do something like that, right? But anyways, back to the story. So once I came like to, and I saw this girl standing there, I asked him, why did you just punch me in my face? And she's like, because you weren't acknowledging me. And oops. Oh. So this lady starts talking to me, and she's like, you didn't respond to me. I asked you for change, and you completely acted like I wasn't even there. I'm like, I didn't even hear you. And she's like, starts cussing at me. I'm like, whatever. Like, I realized there's something wrong with her. She started walking away. And at that moment, when I was standing there, I was like, what do I do? Do I call the police? Do I talk to someone? What do I do in this moment? Because this girl's literally on this street just punching people. Well, I don't know people at this point, but she punched me. So obviously there's something going on. What do I do? And I think about my mom dealing with people in my family who are addicted to drugs, or dealing with homelessness in my family. And if I had a family member doing that to people on the street, I would want someone to call the police. I would want someone to do that, because then they can get apprehended and brought to the hospital. These kind of topics are super touchy for me because I deal with it in my family. So I decided at that moment, I was like, if this was someone in my family, I would want someone to call the police. So I started following her and I called 911. Focusing. Okay, wait, I'm gonna have some more bites of this. So as I'm following her on the phone with the police, this Asian guy runs up to me, taps me on the shoulder. He has a wife and a baby. The wife looks terrified. He's in my face and he's just like, oh my God, I saw what happened to you. You're not the only one. She literally punched 2 to 3 people right before you. I'm sorry I'm laughing. I'm laughing because when I laugh, a lot of the time I laugh in serious situations because I'm very uncomfortable, and me laughing is just like my way of kind of like releasing that uncomfortableness, you know, like that tension. So if I giggle, it's because like, what else do I do at this point except laugh, you know? Here's what I'm saying with Taco Bell. I get so soggy at the bottom. You need to eat these really fast. But the fact that this woman was just punching people in the face, like if that isn't like randomly on the street, like if it isn't for a cry for help, I don't know what is. Because I remember points where I was at my lowest being a really troubled teenager. I would say like, not even like teenager, just teenager, tween, like 12, 13. I would do things so out of the ordinary because it was a cry for help, because I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know that I needed help, you know? So I just really understood. I'm like, okay, so this woman didn't just punch me. She punched other people. So I understood that this person really needed help. So my mission following her wasn't to get her really arrested and charged. It was to see what I could do to get her help. So after he tells me that she just punched other people in the face, he also points to a police officer that was on the opposite side of construction. So if you walk through the tunnel, you can't see him. But if you're on the street already and you look back, you'll be able to see him. And I guess maybe when he was looking at me, he saw the police officer and he's like, I see a police officer over there. Like, you should go and tell him. And at this point, it just felt like I was in a movie. I rushed up to the police officer in the middle of the street. I'm waving my hand. I can feel my face starting to swell a little bit. And he approaches me, and he doesn't even have an English accent. Like, this is what made me feel like I was in a movie. He had a very distinct British accent. It was so weird. I was like, where am I right now? Am I still in Canada? So he speaks to me and he's just like, oh my God, like I told him what happened, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna go talk to her. So I point her out. He goes to talk to her. Does not go well. Does not go well. At all. Again, I'm laughing, guys, because it's just like, what, like, I just got punched in the face, okay? Like, what do I do at this point but laugh a little bit and try to find some type of comedy relief in this entire situation, whilst still maintaining my train of thought of like getting her help. The police officer, I approached them. So the police officer is like, okay, we're gonna go write some stuff down. I'm gonna bring you with me and we're gonna talk a little bit. So he starts walking. He's talking to me, you know, briefly, like asked me, you know, letting him know that he's gonna need my like ID and stuff. And she starts running. And we're walking uphill, right? So we're walking uphill. It's a sunny day. Tons of people around us. And she starts running down the hill. There's traffic. There's people. It's really busy. Oh, all you see is this cop saying, he's like, oh, fuck. Turns around and he starts running. And I'm just standing there like, oh my God. I should be doing homework right now. And in the midst of his run, he grabs her by her backpack. She strips her like jacket or whatever she was wearing with her backpack off and keeps running. Officer throws her stuff on the ground, continues to run after her. I just walk by her stuff. I stand by her stuff and I just stand there, make sure like nobody tries to steal it or anything. He finally catches her and arrests her, puts her in cuffs. Oh, sorry, I don't want to be touching this. So now she's in police handcuffs, walking back up the hill. This lady comes to like talk to me. She's like, what happened? I was like, oh, like I don't really want to talk about it. She's like, I saw that girl. She asked me for change. I'm like, yeah, if you like basically didn't acknowledge her, you got to punch the face. She's like, well, good thing I said no. I was like, good thing. Like, I feel so bad for the other people that like got punched in the face and maybe felt like they got no justice out of it. I hope they're okay, the other victims. So he arrests her. He's talking to her. She's yelling. She's screaming. And at this point, we're already like halfway up the hill because he was an officer on duty, so he had to get closer to the construction site that he was working at. So by the time we get there, they start having a conversation. I'm standing like, you know, a couple feet away. I'm a little bit of a baby. Like, I grew up in the projects. I grew up in poverty. So I do have like some, you know, I do have a hard ass side to me, but I'm also super sensitive. And if I can cry, I will. So I started crying and I called my boyfriend. And I called Ari and I told him what happened. He's like, it's okay. And I was like crying on the phone. Sometimes you just gotta let it out. And that's when I started hearing the argument getting heated. So I turn around and she spits right in his face. Oh, not to mention, when we were walking up the hill, she was kicking the officer in the back of his legs. This man has patience. So he wipes his face off. I was just like, oh shit, dude. He wipes his face off. They go, because we're near a construction site. He goes closer to the fence and tells her to stay there, not to move, and he's gonna talk to me quickly. So he goes over to me. I was like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. And he's like, I'm fine, but I need your license because I want to start writing everything down for when the other officers come, because I'm technically off. Right now, I'm working for this construction site. He's like, you're gonna have to stay here and make a statement. They're gonna have to take pictures of your face, all of that. And then we start discussing, you know, well, like, what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna press charges? Am I not? And I was like, explain to him the situation with my mother and how I would prefer she just went to the hospital. But if charges are the better way to go, if she's gonna get help through a system, let's do that. And he's like, honestly, once she gets charged, they're gonna give her a piece of paper. She's gonna have a court date and that's it. They're not gonna actually help her. So I was like, okay, let's just go with the Mental Health Act. And as we're discussing this girl starts running with her hands. She has her hands behind her back. And there's traffic. We're on like a main road in Toronto. You see this girl running across the street with the handcuffs on her back, and she almost gets freaking hit by a truck. Not even like a car, a freaking big ass truck. Luckily, he stopped right before her. And the officer is just like, you know, going after her. Isn't going to reach her on time. So there's, you know, there is somebody outside of a coffee shop. He's wearing his like barista, I don't know what his uniform. He has his little apron on. He's putting out the garbage. Oh my God, this literally sounds like a movie. And the officer, like, he's like, hey, like, just grab her. Just grab her. I don't know why he did that. Well, I guess there's like citizen's arrest, right? So he grabs her, the girl, to stop her from running, and the girl spits in his face too. And I was like, holy fuck, like, that poor guy. You know, just throwing out the trash on his job. Maybe he doesn't even want to be there on top of it. Now he just got fucking spat in his face. Like, there's just a ton of casualties in this story time. So, officer grabs her, brings her back to the side of the road. And at this point, he had to do a move on her. And I know this move is like safe because when I lived in a group home and I was in juvie when I was like 12 years old, like I said, I had my own issues at a young age. I was a very angry kid because of everything that I experienced, just living in poverty in the projects. So I've seen this move done before. I knew it was safe, just to get somebody on their ass, you know, so they're not running away, basically. It's like your typical restraint. He gets her on her ass, and as this is happening, people who have not seen what's going on see that this girl's being put on her ass, and they start growing concerned. And like, good for them too, you know, like, I'm glad that they were worried. People should be concerned about, you know, and their eyes should be open for police brutality. But it's such like a tough situation because you're going into a situation not knowing what happened before that, you know? So, and you don't know who this person is. Are they a pathological liar? Are they someone who tells the truth? Is it a complete misunderstanding? Are they right? Are they wrong? It's just a hard situation to walk into. So thank God I was there. I was able to tell these people, like, no, everything's fine. She's been trying to run away. You know, she spat like on 2 people. He was just doing a restraint on her so she doesn't run away, basically. So after all this is said and done, she's finally calmed down. The police officer's there. He takes my number, all my information, my ID, everything, and, you know, confirms with me that I don't want to press charges. And I was like, yes, as long as she goes to the hospital. And he confirmed with me again that she was going to be in the hospital for at the very least 78 hours, which is great. That's 3 days. You know, that's a good amount of time to be in the hospital. I spoke to my sister about it. My sister thinks I should press charges because she's a danger to society. Like, what if she does something worse next time? And I agree, but I'm also in a very hard situation where I don't know if it's going to help. I don't know if it's going to make it worse. So I think putting her in the hospital for now is at least good. I think what I'm going to do is just go to the the station and find out what happened with her and see if there's anything I can do, or, you know. Oh, fuck. So I got punched in the face. Woo! It's so hectic. Anyways, my friends, that was my story time for the day. I'm not the best at telling stories, to be honest with you. Also, I don't tell them often, but I feel like practice makes perfect, so I'm gonna try to have better conversations. I have very little confidence in my speaking abilities. So hopefully one day, you know, my confidence gets up there. I'm taking English, I'm getting a bunch of tutoring done, I'm reading more, so I'm just waiting for that day where things just click in my brain and I become a great speaker. But until that day, you know, bear with me. Oh yeah, and what the lesson to learn in this situation? I think the lesson to learn in this situation is just to keep your eyes peeled. Don't get too comfortable. You know, I shouldn't be on my phone like that. I really should have my, you know, I should be up, I should be looking around, I should be making sure that my surroundings are safe. So I think that one thing I take out of this is just to be safe. Don't get so consumed on your phone that you don't know what's happening around you, because a lot of horrible things can happen. But anyways, guys, sorry my audio just disconnected. That's okay, it's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you so much, and until next time.